When tickets for Taylor Swift's stadium tour went on sale last Tuesday, the site would crash and fans would wait in hour-long queues just to not get tickets. This would lead to a lot of angry fans and calls from various lawmakers to break up Ticketmaster and investigate the merger between the ticketing platform and concert promoter Live Nation. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor, and today I'm counting down the top 10 Taylor Swift concert ticket red flags we shouldn't have ignored. At number 10, Pricey Tickets. Now, it's been hard to follow the Ticketmaster scandal since it erupted across social media this past week. However, the ticket prices should have been a huge red flag for any fans before they even tried to purchase the tickets. For those who were able to purchase tickets, they became victims of a dynamic pricing which forced them to pay amounts well above the established ticketing price, even for nosebleed seats. And don't even get me started about the fees, as the fees added up to be more than half the ticket price. This was all before considering the resale, as front row tickets started at $20,000. Now, even resale sites have the ticket prices marked up to tens of thousands of dollars per seat, so it looks like most of us will be listening to Taylor Swift play in the comforts of our car in the parking lot outside of the event, because that seems more reasonable compared to the ticket prices. And number 9, hours online. Fans who tried to score tickets last Tuesday would skip school and work just to spend hours online for the chance to receive tickets, and the tweets that came with it were pretty hilarious to read, with one user writing, "If Chick-fil-A was in charge of the Ticketmaster queue, I would have had Taylor Swift tickets within minutes, just saying." Fans would also even start a movement using Ticketmaster is over party hashtag. Now, such chaos surrounding ticket sales isn't uncommon. However, if you're a fan that decided to skip school and work just to get a verified code so you could purchase tickets, I hope you got your tickets, because school and money is definitely more important than stressing yourself out over a little concert. Hey my peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And number 8, endless queues. After fans received a verified pre-sale code, thousands would head to Ticketmaster to purchase tickets. However, the horror that would arise when fans hit the site would leave many unhappy. The pre-sale would leave many fans stuck in hour-long queues with more than 2,000 plus people ahead of them trying to grab tickets for the Eras tour, Taylor's first tour in 4 years. The queues were made so Ticketmaster could distinguish who was a bot and who was really buying tickets, and it definitely came with some major flaws. I don't know what's more concerning, the fact that queues were 2,000 people long, or the fact that some of you actually spent 6 to 8 hours waiting in a queue just to grab a ticket. I mean, that's some serious commitment, and some of you weren't even going to meet the singer. So was it worth waiting in these lines, and were you actually able to nab a ticket? If so, let me know in the comments below. Number 7, fans kicked off the queues. So roughly 3.5 million people signed up for the chance to buy Taylor Swift tickets in advance sales. This would make her tour have the largest registration in pop music history. However, later Ticketmaster would say they received more than 3.5 billion system requests to buy the tickets last Tuesday. Anyone looking to grab seats definitely was a little surprised when they had to wait in an hour-long queue. Some fans, just when it was finally their turn to grab a ticket, they were booted out of the system and forced to return to the bottom of the queue, which was filled with even more people. One fan even took to Twitter to say, "When you spend 6 hours waiting in a queue and finally get through, only for Ticketmaster to say you haven't signed into your account, even though you are, and then put you back in a queue with 2,000 people ahead of you again." And then some people didn't even make it to the end of the queue before they were kicked off the site and forced to try again multiple times. I'm sorry, but that's some serious commitment just to grab a ticket. And number 6, Ticketmaster canceled sales. The whole process to buy a Taylor Swift ticket became such a huge messy disaster that Ticketmaster would eventually come to the final decision to cancel the public sale for Taylor Swift the Eras tour. The company would cite extraordinarily high demands on ticketing systems and insufficient remaining ticket inventory as the reasons to why they were pulling the plug on general pre-sale early. With the high demands of fans trying to buy tickets, Taylor would have to perform over 900 stadium shows just to meet the demands of people trying to buy tickets. So I guess Ticketmaster made a pretty smart move there. And number 5, money taken from fans' accounts when the system crashed. Some fans, before they were kicked off the system, were actually waiting for their cards to process just to get their tickets. However, some of these fans would still end up being charged without receiving the ticket, and one unlucky fan actually ended up getting charged 14 times, and she still didn't get a ticket. In a now viral tweet by Twitter user SydneySarah1, that she shared that she waited all day in a virtual queue for tickets after she noticed that she was allegedly charged 14 times despite not even successfully getting the concert tickets. The user took to Twitter to say, "Waited in a line for Taylor Swift tickets for 8 hours today, and SeatGeek charged me 14 plus times for tickets I wasn't even able to purchase. So now my bank accounts, happened on multiple cards, are frozen. I'm broke, it overdrafted my accounts, and I did not get the tickets." She would then even post bank receipts to back up her post. SeatGeek did eventually end up reaching out to her to provide a refund, so now all she has to do is wait for the money to come back in. 4, the tour announcement. When Taylor Swift announced her tour, it should have been a red flag to all of us, even before we jumped on the internet to purchase tickets. I get it, it's been 4 years since Taylor did her last tour, and with everything going on in the world, it would have been the perfect event to clear your mind and to help you believe that everything's finally getting back to normal. It was said that tickets could be purchased earlier for Capital One credit card holders. It should have been speaking red flags, as pretty much everyone in America owns a Capital One credit card. And there wasn't a limit on how many people could sign up for the pre-sale, meaning you all should have known that there was going to be problems purchasing tickets, with 3.5 million people signing up to get the pre-order ticket code and about 3.5 billion of you trying to get on the platform to buy tickets. Did you really expect the internet not to crash in the process? And number 3, investigation being launched. With many fans being left empty-handed, state officials are now involved in an investigation to see what went wrong. In Tennessee, the Attorney General would even announce that his office is investigating whether Capital One pre-sale through Ticketmaster violated protection laws. Even a United States representative said that Ticketmaster is a monopoly, its merger with Live Nation, and it should have never happened or been approved of in the first place. Even Joe Biden would take to Twitter about the fees and would say, "I know hidden junk fees like processing fees on concert tickets are just a pain. They're unfair, deceptive, and add up. That's why last week I called on my administration to crack down on these fees and put the money back into your pockets." Hopefully he can do that, because those fees were ridiculous and it should have been illegal. And number 2, Taylor's response. Taylor Swift was just as unhappy about the ticket sale situation as her fans, and she took to her Instagram to post a 3-paragraph response. Taylor would go on to say, "Well, it goes without saying that I'm extremely protective of my fans. We've been doing this for decades together, and over the years, I brought many elements of my career in-house. I've done this specifically to improve quality of my fans' experience by doing it myself with my team who cares about my fans as I do. It's really difficult for me to trust an outside entity with these relationship loyalties, and it's excruciating for me to watch mistakes happen with no recourse. There are a multitude of reasons why people have such a hard time trying to get tickets, and I'm trying to figure out how this situation can be improved moving forward. I'm not trying to make excuses for anyone, because we asked them multiple times if they could handle this kind of demand, and we were assured they could." Taylor then went on to say she was truly amazed that 2.4 million people were able to get tickets during this mess, and she was really upset about the trouble fans went just to try to grab a ticket. And at number 1 today, we have Ticketmaster's apology. After Ticketmaster decided to cancel the general sale for Taylor Swift's upcoming Eras Tour, they would issue an apology to Taylor Swift and her fans with a lengthy explanation. The company would go on to say, "First, we want to apologize to Taylor and all of her fans, especially those who had a terrible experience trying to purchase tickets. Next, we feel we owe it to everyone to share some information to help explain what happened." They would then go on to explain their verified fan registration process was intended to help manage high demands of sales and weed out bots. They also explained that 3.5 million people pre-registered, and that they only sent out codes to 1.5 million users to join the sale, and that 2 million people were placed on a waiting list. They then went on to say that only 15% of users actually experienced issues getting tickets, and they blame that on the traffic and staggering number of bot attacks. However, we all know they weren't ready to deal with the high demand of clients, and they honestly need to create a better system because this was not it. Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches. Until the next one, remember to stay juicy.